Rabbi, let us have your name once more.
My name is Rabbi Yehuda Ben Shomer.
Okay. Well, is it okay if we just call you Yehuda?
Yeah, that's fine.
Today? Okay,
yeah, that's fine. No problem at all. I'll go on even further to say this, that the slave trade is actually connected to Deuteronomy 28, because the majority of the slaves that were brought to the Caribbean islands and brought to the Americas were Hebrew people, were people of Hebrew and Hebraic Israelite descent, if you will. And so if you read Deuteronomy chapter 28, it matches perfectly what happened to the Hebrew slaves, the black Hebrew slaves, during the slave trade. It just matches it perfectly.
Back up now. I think we just rung a bell here. Hold up now.
Okay.
Hold up. Hold the pressure.
Okay.
Hold up. I hope everyone is listening to this. This is you about to rock some boats now. Ben Yehuda there. Hold up now. Listen to what he's saying here. So you were saying that there's a great chance, or more so, that the black people that links directly to the slave trade are from the lost tribes of Israel. Is that what you're saying here, sir?
Yes, I am. Now, granted, I will qualify that I don't. Wait a second. I don't believe that every single black person is Hebraic or Jewish. But I'm saying that the majority of the slaves involved in the slave trade were Hebrews.
Are modern Jews descendants of the tribe of Judah, one of the sons of Jacob? Are European Jews really Gentiles whose ancestors converted to Judaism? The facts are clear now, that most of those who call themselves Jews are not descendants of Jacob, whose name was later changed to Israel, and therefore have no claim to the land of Palestine. The October 29, 1996 New York Times, in an article entitled "Scholars Debate Origins of Yiddish and the Migrations of Jews," states, the Eastern European Jews were not really Semitic, that they were largely descended from the Turkish Khazars, who converted to Judaism in medieval times. Therefore, modern Jews have no blood link to the biblical Israelites. Jewish historians have established that at least 90% of all Jews come from a Turkish mix of people and are largely sourced from the Khazar kingdom. The Jewish scholar Arthur Koester provided overwhelming evidence.
It's the book of Revelation 3, verse 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I love thee. Shalom, shalom. First off, I give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Yahweh be your name for Heavenly Father. Yahushai be your name for his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls God, and Jesus Christ. I give double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone, and taught truth and rule well, as I taste Jehovah, they push this truth and honesty, sincerity. Spirit of Yahweh, come to us, the spirit power, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And the spirit is going into identity theft. You've seen those two clips. It came out the devil's mouth himself. The Jewish rabbi admitted it. The Jewish rabbi admitted it. He's not the first that said that. There's been other rabbis that came out and told you the truth. They know. It's just here in America, they don't want to push that knowledge that they know. Because this is the only part of the world, or only continent on the planet that teaches the lie that those people over there in the land today are the true, actual Jews, but they're not. Now, to be called a Jew, it comes from the word Judah, which is the head tribe of Israel. So they were called, reference to Israelites were referenced as Jews of the southern kingdom of the nations of Israel. Judah, Benjamin, Levi, they all fall under the category of being called Jews. Okay, and you've seen in the video The dude broke it down as far as when they actually migrated over there. They come from the Khazarian land over there. They didn't belong in the land of Israel that they're in today. And you got over 50 different nations that are actually Semitic or Shemitic, which so-called white people today and so-called black people today fall under that category of being Shemitic. Even so-called Chinese people fall under that category of being Shemitic. So-called Arab people fall under that category of being Shemitic. Okay, so you cannot say that we're anti-Semitic by telling everybody that we're also considered Hebrew Israelites. Now I say also because they have other people that's labeled themselves as Israelites as well, but they're really not the real Israelites. We are, okay? And we have a right to say that we're of Israel. That's not considered anti-Semitic by saying that. What is considered anti-Semitic is when you tell us that we can't say that and we can't share a post of a documentary on Amazon Prime, Hebrews to Negroes. You telling us that we can't do that, that is called anti-Semitism. Okay? Because you're telling us that we're not of the people of that line of being Semitic or Shemitic. Shemitic is the actual name. This means we come out of the line of Shem. And multiple, like I said, there are 50 different nations that come out of the line of Shem. You know? But there's a specific chosen line out of the line of Shem. And we're proclaiming that we are the real JEWs that are of that line, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. We fit the prophecies of the Bible. We fit the curses. We fit the talents. Okay? We fit all the evidence. You damn devils don't fit a single one. So the truth has been brought into the earth. And this is the greatest case of identity theft to ever occur on the planet. Is by them declaring that they're the chosen people when they're not. They're Esau, man. But that just goes into the story of Jacob and Esau. When Esau sold his birthright. Okay, and also Esau's birthright was already ordained to be what it was. Which he was supposed to be under the younger, which is Jacob. And the scriptures say he despised his birthright and he sought it carefully with tears. He wanted the birthright of what Jacob ended up getting, which is being the Hebrew Israelites, the chosen line, and the future kings upon the earth, the gifts. You know, Esau did not get that. So he has tried to force his way in a carnal way in the world to try to make it happen and get the rest of the world to go ahead and accept that he's got the birthright when he doesn't. You know? Well, he sought it carefully with tears. Scripture said. Like a 2 and 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. Okay, who's the day that's doing this? It's Edom, Esau, Edom. In modern day, the head tribe of Esau, Edom, they label themselves as the Jewish people. And their true nationality in the Bible is referred to as Amalek, which is Edomite, the head tribe of Esau. And this is what they've done. They have stolen their heritage. They have stolen everything they got. They're always in lands that they don't belong. They're always in places where they committed genocide to take it. The transatlantic slave trade, which the rabbi was referring to, is found in the book of Deuteronomy 28:68. That was a prophecy that the transatlantic slave trade would take place. And guess who funded that slave trade? Jewish people did. They owned the boats, man. They drove the boats as well. They operated them. Slave auctions and the slave ports were closed on JEW-ish holidays. You know? It's the book of Psalms 64:8. So shall they make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. You know, so it means they're telling on themselves, man. Eventually you got some Edomites, they'll tell you what it is. So, what your people got to say now? You heard it out of one of those people's mouths themselves, the same ones that's clearing the anti-Semitic bullshit. You heard one of them telling you exactly what Kanye's been talking about and Kyrie's been talking about, and the brothers at the highways and hedges, the Hebrew Israelites prophets, have been talking about. It's just the truth, man. That's it. The cat is out the bag. The world has recognized, and the world knows. Baruch 2:30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. And that is a prophecy that's happening right now before your very eyes. You have a mass of people remembering themselves in a mass scale, a mass number. That's a prophecy. There's also a prophecy that we would forget. This is the prophecy how we would forget that we're Israelites. Jeremiah 17:4. And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. That's slavery and the transatlantic slave trade was I talking about, okay? It says, for ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. So we broke the commandment, so as punishment, we got put into slavery, we got carried over here in ships. And the Israelites that were already over here, they got put in slavery once the Edomites landed here, starting with Christopher Columbus. Okay? You had something called a Portuguese and Spanish slave trade that took place before the transatlantic. And the so-called Native American Indians and Latinos were oppressed that way and put on ships over there to Spain and various parts of the world. But during that process, we forgot our heritage. We discontinued for that. But now, Baruch is happening, Baruch 2:30. Remembering ourselves. But you got some stiff-necked people. You got hard-headed Israelites that ain't trying to hear it because they want to stay slaves. Because they trust in Esau to be taken care of. The Stockholm Syndrome is what it is. They still mentally brainwash and worship their oppressors. They can't shake it, and they don't want to acknowledge what's going on in the world as far as the Great Awakening and who they really are. They rather just shut up and dribble. Shaq, Shaquille O'Neal, I'm referring to, Charles Barkley, LeBron James. They don't want to hear. But all three of them niggas, they know. They know deep down that they're Israelites. You know? Book of Matthew 15:24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So it's important to know who is that lost sheep of the house of Israel. Those are the Hebrew Israelites. Those are the only ones that's getting delivered when the Lord comes back. So the only ones that's getting delivered are the Israelites. So it's important to know who those people actually are. Okay? Psalms 147:19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh. So there you go, man. Only Israel is who's that's for. And they're very mad because they want the world to accept. Just because Esau, you convinced the world to accept that you are those people, doesn't mean that you actually are, especially in the eyes of the Lord. And you can't stop the prophecies when he said he's going to cause the people to remember themselves. It's happening, man. They're remembering themselves. This book of 2 Maccabees chapter 6. This is a good chapter to go into. This is the book of 2 Maccabees 6:6. It says, neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient fasts, or to profess himself at all to be a Jew. This happened in the ancient world, man. It was unlawful for you to call yourself an Israelite. And this is the same thing happened again. You know, because this part of the scriptures is reference to what would happen in the Greco-Roman Empire, you know, and also during the time of Alexander the Great. So back then they did that shit, and this is the kingdom reincarnated here in America. So it's the exact same shit, different toilet, man. We're not allowed to profess ourselves at all to be a Jew. Otherwise, you're labeled anti-Semitic. And you can get in all types of shitstorm behind that, man. But you damn devils, you're going down, man. The world knows. Isaiah 45:17. But Israel shall be saved in Yahweh with the everlasting salvation. He shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. Israel's going to be saved. Okay? You tried to hide the world of who they are. It doesn't mean the Lord doesn't know. And he's woken up key chosen prophets to bring out all this information. And the world is now known. And it's being, the information is exploding more and more every day. You can't stop this message as truth, Esau. This is the end of your kingdom, man. You might as well accept your future position, which is to be under Israel. And you got to pay for all the slavery that you did. And with that, I'm going to close out. Give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh. Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Kakadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles. Great millstone, touch truth and will well. Salutations to whoever they possess truth. And all honesty and sincerity. Shalom.